Okay,
Just because you're telling me to do it.
Welcome to The Ride with Chevy and Nasty. Host Randy Chevrier and Sheldon Napastka guide you through great stories that spark great conversations. Two really big guys talking a big game. The boys are locked in and ready to go. Welcome to The Ride.
Emerson pegou. Segura o
Wow, what a game.
Trey, you totally redeemed yourself with that one. I'll tell you why you needed redemption. But man, what a game! We saw the soccer game and the two club teams in Brazil, professional teams in Brazil. They were going at it. We saw the action between the Lightning and the Buffalo Sabres on the weekend.
Sheldon, well, yeah, when the hell was that? I didn't even see that. I didn't even know that happened.
That was on the weekend. Sheldon, 102 minutes in penalties. 27 penalties combined. The first 10 minutes had 5 fights. I tell you what, if you buy, we talk about these days, you don't get value for your dollar. If you bought a ticket to the Lightning Buffalo Sabres game on the weekend, you got your value. You got the fights and you got 8-7 score. And Motley Crue, Trey, great job. Great job. I had seen it before. Sheldon, what'd you think of Trey's video montage there?
Dude, that kid's getting good. That gets me going. I didn't see that. It's been a busy day in the chats. I didn't see it. My only complaint's going to be, what the hell was that soccer fight at the start? Well, all I saw is I don't know how many guys were on the field or at the pitch at one time. There's like 27 of them I counted, but it's just a bunch of guys saying, "Hold me back, hold me back." Nobody was doing anything.
Well, you know what? I got my good buddy Gustavo that I work with. He's Brazilian, and this is his club team. The Blue Guys are his club team from back home, and he showed me something because I was giving it to him this morning about how wimpy that fight looked. Like the goalie looked like he didn't get kicked in the head, but when the guy rolled over him, the goalie looked like he got sniped. I don't know if you could play that again. I don't know if you have it, Trey. And then he goes down on top of the guys who had his face covered, and all of a sudden the guy looks like he broke his neck, and all hell broke loose. But there is a different video from this official video where one of the guys comes off the bench and does a flying kick to the back of a guy's head. Like it was bedlam in Brazil. That's what they should call that one, the bedlam in Brazil. But no, I don't think, and we showed that to compare the two because, obviously we're used to the type of behavior we saw on the ice between the Sabres and the Lightning, but this isn't too common in soccer. But that being said, when the fans see that sort of thing, here we go. What are we looking? This is 23 red cards in Brazil. Yeah, look at that. The guy goes over his head, and now the goalie, look, he covers his face, and now look, the guy's like dead. The guy's dead. He's dead, and they probably have to send flowers to his mom after that because that's kind of how it goes in soccer. And
the NBA. Somebody said, Jamin says soccer fights are as bad as NBA fights. You ever see that clip? I can't remember who it was. A guy pulls himself out of the game because of like a hangnail or something like that. Did something to his finger, and then they flash it and compare it to Jack Hughes losing a tooth for the Americans. I mean, it's just a different breed of game. This is kind of cool to see a little bit of emotion among these guys. Of course, the only true violence was a kick in the back.
Yeah, no, I mean, soccer players are emotional, but they're kind of like they're not real.
They're in a Weasley way, though, aren't they?
In a Weasley kind of like that kid in the schoolyard that picks a fight and then runs away and tells on you. Like there's a couple of kicks there and stuff. Yeah, I don't know, but when I look at that hockey fight between the Sabres and the Lightning, there's a couple of things. One, Hagel, who represented Team Canada, I just found out his story. This guy, he had a long path to the NHL. He didn't have he went through the European leagues. Here's a kick to the back of the head. I think it's coming here somewhere. I mean, this is bedlam. This is chaos. Have you ever seen, actually, what's interesting is all these security guards on the field. Like, these are security guards that are typically there for the fans.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't see that in Major League Baseball. You wouldn't see that in the NBA or the NFL or the NHL where security guards would be on the field holding players back from each other. And again,
that Labor Day game when you were still with the Eskimos.
Yeah,
that was a fight with Garrett Smith.
Yeah, I picked the fight with maybe I picked the fight with you. I don't know. No, I might pick a fight with you later about these headphones. But going to the Buffalo Sabres Lightning game, there's a couple of things. So Brandon Hagel, he took a couple of shots like there you go. You got Amanda out of the shot.
Yeah.
Hagel was punching Dahlin in the face as Dahlin was skating away, and I think that landed him a $5,000 fine. But you know what I enjoyed about seeing that game? One of the fights, one of the guys right in the thick of it, he didn't win the fight, but he fought, and that was Corey Perry, recent acquisition. Very familiar with him. He's done great things for both of our teams. When he's with the Canadians a few years ago, brought them to the Stanley Cup. When he was with the Oilers, brought them to the Stanley Cup. They didn't win
twice.
Yeah, brought them twice, and then they got rid of him. But man, I tell you, when you watch that guy, how old he is, the fire he's got in his belly. Like, I mean, everyone's throwing, everyone's swinging. This is the slobber knocker of a game. Everyone's done it already. The emotions are there. He didn't have to throw down, but yet he did. And I mean, you think about what the Oilers gave up when they let him go. I know that there was salary concerns and he's getting older and there's him and Evander Kane, but you guys are Oilers fans. Would you want Perry on your team like right now? If you could have that type of grit on your team right now, would you trade someone for that?
Well, I tell you what, I was actually talking about this a couple of days ago. I want that guy on the team because that's what we're short right now. Would it be Corey Perry? Yeah, he was good. He was just getting up a little bit in years where he couldn't help you on the ice as much, and you need a guy that can still play. But you know what I said was a guy like a Lomberg for Calgary.
He did have the most goals in the playoffs for the Oilers last year.
Yes. You know what? Yeah, you're not wrong.
So he did help you in the playoffs. Trey always with the Zingers. Yeah. Trey with the Zingers.
Would you trade for a Corey Perry right now? If you
absolutely could? We're so soft. Our goalie just got ran and nobody fought McKinnon.
I heard my wife in the other room saying the goalie's bleeding, and I didn't know which one. So that was Ingram.
Yeah, Ingram just got absolutely Jerry's at the game now. He just got destroyed, and nobody even thought about touching McKinnon.
Yeah, no, they need that. And you know what? I said it before the deadline. Did I not say it, Trey? I would, if I was the Habs, I would trade for Corey Perry. Because again, you expect when you're a young guy to have like the 27-year-old, like you're on a team, you're a young 22-year-old, like the Montreal Canadiens. I take my team, for example. Most of their guys are under 26 years old. So they're a very young team, and they expect guys in the mid-20s to be fighting, doing that thing that they got to do when the game is down, the chips are down. But when you see a 39-year-old guy go to toe-to-toe and willing to drop it, that's a whole other level of example and leadership of why it matters. And Trey, do you have the video of that? I know we sent it during the week. It'd be really cool if we could see that. And I also want to see the video after of the penalty box. The 2 penalty boxes full, and the fans just going nuts because what was happening was the Jumbotron was showing the Tampa box full of players, and they were booing, and then they showed the Sabres box cheering, and it was so here's Corey Perry. No, that's not Perry. I don't think Perry's right here. He's at the top of the circle. There he starts going.
That's him right there?
Yeah, he's number 10.
No.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, he got a few good shots, but then he kind of took a couple. But I mean, you're doing that right in front of your bench. He just showed up to the team.
He's good.
He they just traded for him, and that's what they traded for. That's what every team needs going into a playoff run. Yeah, this guy won. This guy won for sure, but Corey Perry, he won the day. Because what he showed his team brings them to another level of performance. And let's see if we can get the shot of the box there. Look at the penalty box there, just full of dudes. I think there's more guys in the box than in the bench. It's pretty. I don't think we have sound on this, Trey? No sound on that.
And it's good that you've experienced it. The guys are going to be by your back, and the guys will go in the room and it'll be okay. You go in the room after a big game like this, a lot of fights, a lot of activity. Guys are over the top jacked. This is how you pull a group together.
That was
who's in the middle of this one. So that is Eric Furlat, the referee.
Yeah, he's in a little over his head there.
Yeah, let him go.
And
let him go, coach.
Comes in, he goes, I can't handle this either.
That's some hot punches there.
Both guys the same size.
Is this in the same series?
Same ability. Lock and load.
Was this during the Perry fight? Right after the Perry fight?
No, it was in the first 10 minutes.
When Hagel decided to throw the big bombs, and that's broken up.
Yeah, there was I think
separate fights in the first 10.
By the way, in a hockey game that the Sabres lead 1-0, if that's still on your mind. Vegas and California.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this game. We could cut it off, Trey. We could cut it off. We're good.
It's that time of year though. I like that hockey's gotten away from fighting as much as it used to be, because it used to be almost stupid, almost boring. You'd watch a talentless guy get in a fight to try to heat it up, but it didn't heat anybody up because it was so routine. When you see this kind of action going on, though, you can't help but get fired up and take you to back in the day and wish you were in that locker room with a guy. So that's all. That's the time of year that's what you need to see. Yeah. From a team right now that wants to compete.
I mean, he has a lot of cup finals in him. He doesn't have as many cups in him as he wishes he would, but so many teams wish they could get to the spot that, I know we bugged the Oilers about 2 cup losses in a row. And again, what my issue was early in the season when you guys ragged on me was I was saying, I don't think they have the personnel to get back there. Forget about winning, but to get back to the cup, because that's the hardest thing, just to go there. And a guy like Perry gets you there. Then what happens when you're there? Well, it's kind of up in the air. It's the hot goaltender. It's the guy getting hurt. It's whatever it is. But to get in the position where you can compete for the championship, you need guys like that. You need guys,
like you said, and it starts now. So
and that type of attitude is pretty good. So again, Sheldon, I said Trey redeemed himself. He redeemed himself because he was in the penalty box, and he's in the penalty box. For those of you that don't know, I was getting some angry texts, Trey. Angry text. Okay, I'm exaggerating that they were angry, but people were wondering where the show was, Trey. People were like the Spotify, the Apple Podcast. I got one guy text me 3 times. When's the show up? When's the show? I'm going for my run. When is the show up? I'm like, Trey, what's up with the show? So we put you in the penalty box. I think that's a 5-minute major you served. But you served it well. You came out strong tonight, and we'll get you some more ice time. I think you're okay. You're out of the box.
Take the blame on this one. I didn't let the audio download all the way, so I'm sorry to everybody who's waiting. But it is out now, and I'll make sure it gets out to tonight too as well. So
well, if you want to hold Trey to his word, hold Trey to his word, check us out at Chevy and Nasty. We've got all the different socials. We're right now we're live on YouTube. I think we're live on Instagram and live on Facebook. But if you can't catch us right now, which that'd be weird because then you wouldn't hear me right now, you can pick us up on Spotify. You can pick us up on
look at this new one.
Apple
I made a new one.
Podcast. And there you go. Sideline Sports, our newest group that we're hanging out with. Our Sideline Sports is our new network that we're with. So that's pretty exciting. And guys, speaking of exciting, we got a great show for you tonight. We started off with a bang. We're going to hit the poem in a second, but we got Keon Raymond, fantastic Calgary Stampeder, teammate of mine, ambassador in the community. He's going to be speaking at our father-son movie night in Cochrane on the 30th of March, and we're bringing him on tonight just to catch up with him and see what's going on. The last time we had him on our show, Trey wasn't even our producer, and he didn't have batteries in his smoke alarm. He had old batteries because it was chirping. So I'm going to ask him if he changes smoke alarms, because that's very important. You know, I got to do my job as a community safety officer. But before we get to the poem, I want to thank all of you guys that tune in every week on the Ride with Chevy and Nasty. There's some new faces tonight. Well, some people that haven't listened in. I see Denzel Snipes. I also see Nana Mana joining in. She comes and says hi. As always, Ernie Regas, he's joining us from Saskatchewan, and that's great because we're finally on the same time zone. So there's no time change. It's 10 o'clock our time, 10 o'clock your time. We're all rocking and rolling on the same time. And is BC on the same time as us now, or are they an hour behind?
I think they're staying on this time now. So I think we are on the same time. But
so we're all kind of yeah. So
you missed Todd Kozak in Saskatoon. And Cozy, what the hell's going on? Cozy's tripping me tonight.
Oh my goodness.
Saves that for you.
Yeah,
Shut
well,
up,
hey,
he says, and then it says, Trey, I don't see a mustache. Trey, get back on here.
You know the problem is.
Did Trey shave?
I
think he shaved.
I still have the mustache.
No, that's
Trey Stachio.
Oh yeah, no, you got
that.
Yeah.
Get that away. Jesus, Trey, I'm gonna put you back in the penalty box for that. Trey, blow your nose in the break. Listen, let's get the poem going because you know what? We got lots to cover tonight. We want to get to Keon in the next segment, so let's get the poem going and then we'll rock and roll.
And now, 300-pound poetry with Chevy and Nasty.
I'll start this one off. We are your 300-pound poets. These are our 300-pound thoughts. These rhymes are not written by Grok or ChatGPT bots.
NFL stars switch teams. New Jersey's soon to hit the rack. But the Baltimore fans canceling their Crosby orders as the Ravens sent him back.
Sabres poke the lightning bear. The punches fly to Dallin's face. Too many guys in the box. There was very little left space.
Lou Holtz told tales so wise about never giving up the fight. A football legend and mentor to all, taught his men to do things right.
Keon Raymond roamed the field, a defender with a ton of picks. You knew if he got his hands on the ball, it's going the other way for 6.
Sure was. With Chevy and Nasty hosting this Tuesday night ride, if we jumped in the ocean, you'd feel a rising tide.
A rising tide. You know, my doctor called me obese yesterday, Chef.
Like
I went for the old annual checkup, and
did he use the word obese, or he's like, "Hey,
yeah, well, that might have been how I read it. It wasn't kind. It didn't give you those warm fuzzies. It wasn't the carrot that he was dealing with, offering me to get me on the program. It was a stick. And
did you tell him that you smoked a roast tonight, and that's what you were ready to dive into?
I tried to tell him, but he says, dude, you're 51. It's time to you shouldn't be carrying that extra weight anymore. So
yeah, but you know what, Sheldon, we're big guys, and every time, listen, my whole life, even though I might not always be the ideal body fat for whatever, even when I played, I was probably a little bit over, but even just our weight, there's a point where the body mass index doesn't work for big guys like us. It probably never worked for you. You probably were obese when you were 15 and 6'4", 200
and ripped.
You're like, oh no, you're obese. You're having a heart attack tomorrow.
According to the chart, I think I'm supposed to be something like 195 pounds.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't dipped below 250 pounds in probably, 25 years more.
Yeah.
I mean, my second year of college, I hit 250. And then after that, I was uphill. And, even I actually met with Coach Higgins yesterday and we had a nice coffee. And first thing he asked me, he's like, are you the same weight? And I said, yeah, I'm 275. He's like, how do you feel? I said, I feel great. I'd like to be 250 just to say I'm 250, but I don't know what that feels like. I know how I feel right now. And it's like, I don't feel out of shit. Yeah, I've got a couple of joint issues and stuff, but I still feel strong. I still run lots. I still do my thing. And, I just wear bigger pants.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know. But Sheldon, I don't think you're obese. I don't think you're fat. Just for the record, I don't think you're fat. I really don't.
Bones. My Baba always used to tell me that. She's got big bones. Hey, I got a feel good story for you this week here, and he's on right now. So I'm going to tell it right now. Last week, of course, as a group, we all get to know each other pretty good here and have some fun. Live every Tuesday night. We celebrate our wins and we encourage each other in our downtimes. Last week, Jamin lost his father. We all mourned and the support and the love continues to outreach to Jamin and his family. But our good friend and my cousin Kurt Pagno in Regina, who just joined us here. Hey, Kurt, the guy. You guys remember Kurt? He's the one that cried when he got the chance to meet Bret Hart, his hero from the time he was a child. Kurt's got some big news. This weekend, he and his wife gave birth to his first son.
No way!
His first son, his first child. And as an Elvis Presley fan, what do you name him?
Elvis.
Presley Curtis Pagno. Yeah,
I thought he would have named him Elvis.
So long live the king, Kurt. We've got a new king in town. His name's Presley. And dude, I'll tell you, that's a game changer. He's been texting me saying, dude, I can't even tell you. It's different than I knew it would be good. It's different than I thought. And Chev, you remember those days. It is an absolute game changer. Congratulations, Kurt and Nicole. You guys are going to be amazing parents.
That's awesome, man. Congrats. And it's so cool. Our community's growing. I mean, now we got a little rider on the ride with Kurt. He's going to be probably soothing the baby right now. Maybe he's got the man boob going and just listening to the show and just feeding the good vibes to the little baby Presley. So that's good. We got Regan, we got Daryl. Everyone's on the show ready to go. But you know what? I know we go a little bit long sometimes in the first segment, but I say we take a break in a second so we can get our guests on because we know that's going to be fun. But just to remind you guys, and one of the reasons we got Keon Raymond coming on the show is because March 30th is our father-son movie night in Cochrane. And if you haven't already RSVP'd, please do so. I don't know if Trey, you got the poster to go up there, but you can reply or RSVP to Daryl at pfmfreight.com, or there's a QR code. You can scan it right now. You don't have to come with your son. You don't have to come with your father.
There's two QI codes. So there's one there above my head, and there's one there on the right. They both work, so you can scan either one. Okay,
cool. Scan either one. RSVP, like we said, you don't have to wait for your dad. You don't have to wait for your kids. We just want you there. There's good stuff that even if you're not there with your kids or your parents, you can bring it home. We got Brett Gardner. We got his son. We got Keon Raymond. We got food. We got fellowship. It's free. And then we got Top Gun Maverick. So that's coming up March 30th. Again, you know where you can follow us on all the socials. We're going to take a quick break, guys, and when we get back, we're going to be joined by Keon Raymond. It's going to be a fun time. Let's go.
Performance Freight Management is a global logistic freight shipping company that will handle the entire shipping process for any package to any country. Whether it be a simple truck shipment from your office to Toronto or your company importing generators from China, PFM Freight handles it all. We have the expertise and technology to handle any shipping requirements. Skip the guesswork and let us take the shipping pain off your plate.
Do you want your business to be known? YYCCalgaryBusiness.ca is Calgary's only online media platform that gets you noticed, Short-form video content is rapidly taking over as the most effective way to engage your audience. Whether you're being interviewed on a vodcast, sharing a sizzle reel, or even hosting your own show, there is one place you can publicize your business. We want to tell your story and introduce you to our network of empowered business owners and leaders right here in Calgary. Isn't it time you took your digital game to 11? Call us or email us now.
Welcome back to The Ride with Chevy and Nasty, brought to you every week by Performance Freight Management, We Drone Real Estate Media, and YYC Business. Sheldon, we're going to welcome our guest soon. And the last time we had him, we had such a good time that, he's one of those guys. He got to be my teammate. For those of you who don't know, Keon and I, we got to 2 Grey Cups together, I believe it is. We played a bunch of years together and just, developed a really good friendship. Unfortunately, you know how it goes when you retire. You don't really see everyone all the time because everyone's kind of finding themselves and figuring out what they got to do. But we chat once in a while online, and every once in a while we connect. And I'm really excited to have Keon here tonight, not only to have him on the show, but also because I know it's coming up on March 30th. And for him to be a part of it, I think it's a perfect fit. So without further ado, let's welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Keon Raymond.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? What's happening?
Hey, Keon, good to see you, man. Big time players in the background. Where are you at tonight?
Man, I'm at the gym actually, man. We just had one of our training groups just finish up, man. And so I had one of the other coaches sent me some conditioning. So I stepped away, been able to take some time with you guys tonight so we can, go ahead and talk about, what's new, what's happening with the big time players.
So tell us what's happening with the big time players, because the last time we had you on, you didn't have a facility. You were kind of moving around, you were running the 7-on-7. I remember you had the spring league coming up, but you've grown in the last couple of years, right? Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Man, it's been such a blessing over the last couple of years, how just the growth, and a lot of it has been organic, when you can grow organically and word of mouth, just being able to push it to another level like that. I remember when I first started this thing with 20 kids, now we got close to over 300 kids that's in the program consistently that goes in and throughout the program. So right now in our wintertime, we have our 7-on-7, our travel team. These are the kids that we take down to the U.S. They train in the off season, just skill positions, so quarterbacks, defensive backs, receivers. We just came back from Las Vegas about 2 weeks ago, played in a tournament, really big tournament down there. We took a 10U team, a 12U, and a 14U team, and they all played well. They represented Canada well. They played well up there. They competed. Now we're getting ready to support one of our Canadian brethren in Vancouver at the beginning of April in Vancouver. Game ready. So G. Simon, they started the game ready. Yeah. So we get a chance to go to their tournament at the first week Easter weekend, and then we host our own here in Calgary, April 11th and 12th at Show Dice in the Dome, called the Battle in the Rockies. So, but man,
we have that poster for that. We got that poster for that. Trey, you could put that up. But I wanted to ask you, Keon, you started this a number of years ago. I know you had the basketball program and the football program. It seems like you're just doing the football program now. There's the Battle of the Rockies right there, April 11th to 12th, Calgary, Alberta, Shoal Dice Field. But how lucky is that timing? How blessed do you feel with the timing of the announcement of flag football becoming an Olympic sport as you've been trying to grow this 7-on-7? Because before, contact football, tackle football was it in Calgary. I remember we coached our own kids, and in those days there was no option for kids that didn't want tackle. And you kind of are the one that really started it a few years ago. And now with the Olympic push, tell us how that's impacted your business and what's happening with the kids out there.
You know what? It's huge. Just because with the safe and the non-contact aspect of football, it's become such a skill game now. Like, we watch the NFL and just how technical you have to be, just catching a ball or being able to defend somebody, you know what I mean? And so now, like, even with the flag football, this is our second year and starting our girls program. We got a girls program called G Elite, and man, they've traveled down to Phoenix, they've played. And so just the opportunity for to be included in the Olympics, and us to kind of be at the forefront of it. People thought I was kind of crazy when I started there, like, what are you doing, what is this, that's not real football, and now you got this thing as an Olympic sport. In the Olympics, you play 7-on-7 for the Olympic football. So that's the glaring thing about it. You get an opportunity to really showcase what you can do just in the skill position.
Well, and it wasn't just, maybe I was a little lazy later on in my career in the pros, but I always found the best work you got was when you took the pads off, you're in shells, and you're just working technique. When you're a kid, right? All your high school coaches, at least in Canada, it was all hit hard and hamburger drill and, bull in the ring and the stupid drills that were just all about physicality. I can imagine if you've got a good staff of coaches, just working with the kids on the fundamentals, that footwork, that's the stuff you need to get ingrained into a young player, is it not?
Oh, absolutely. I think in Chevy, we can attest for them. Like, even when we were coaching, we would hit, but we would rarely hit. Like, we would always make sure we worked on fundamentals with the kids. And, and I don't know, a lot of the coaches within the Calgary Minor football, they do their absolute best. They volunteer, but a lot of them really don't understand the fundamentals and the skill sets you got to have just being a football player. And what the 7-on-7 does, it allows these skills, the players to be able to develop these skills from movements and understanding how you break in on certain routes, and being able to understand and read zone coverages, you know what I mean? And my biggest thing was teaching these kids understand points of contact, you know what I mean? And so when you're running that dig route across the middle, you know what I mean, and your first time you playing tackle football and you just run, coach say run across there, and somebody knocks the snot bubbles out your mouth, then it's like, no, I don't want to run across there anymore. But when you play within the 7-on-7 and the flag, you get a chance to now understand, they're going for the ball. So now you understand, okay, when I get here, there's going to be somebody there. I got to make sure when I catch the ball, I brace myself, understand these are points of contact on the football field, and there's windows for it. So no, man, it's like I said, it's been huge. Like, just the growth for our spring league starts up usually Mother's Day weekend. We call it the Battle for the Roses. So like, we'll have teams that come out, kids who sign up, man, and it's on Mother's Day weekend, and we literally buy a bouquet of roses. We got a sponsor from a flower shop, and they sponsor all the roses for Mother's Days. And so you win, you know what I mean? You get a chance to give your mom a rose on that day. So, you know what I mean? Which is, you know what I mean? Which is freaking awesome, man.
Nice touch. Now, Keon, let me ask you this, because again, you've done such a fantastic job. And one of the things I mentioned is, like, I keep in touch with you on Instagram. We chat once in a while. We haven't had a coffee in years. And it's same with me and Sheldon. I mean, Sheldon and I, now that we do the show, we might see each other a little bit more often, but we're so busy. I know you're busy. You're running around. Every time I call you, you're in a different place. So I don't know all the ins and outs about your business, but I want to know, what are the opportunities? Like, obviously we talk about, there we are. Look at that. Look at those pictures there. When we were in Vulcan with the Grey Cup, and we put on the Spock ears. But let me ask,
I remember that picture right there with the black uniform on right there. I just got a pick six. That was a playoff game, and you came up to me and said, man, you're a dog, man. You're
no, for sure. And the other picture, Sheldon was one.
That's Mail.
That's Ron Mail.
He looked. Yeah, it's funny. That guy could play, but he looked like a 45-year-old man right there.
But Keon doesn't know this. So wait, I'm gonna ask that question. I was gonna ask in a second. Keon doesn't know this, but that day we brought the Grey Cup to Vulcan, right, with Jack Fulton, our good buddy Jack Fulton, had us down. Me, you, and Duran. I want you to. Trey, jump on for a second here. So you've been speaking to Trey offline. You don't know how Trey looks from a hole in the wall. He's a half good looking kid. He's got a really pervy mustache. But look at this kid. This is Trey. He's an Oilers fan. Don't hold that against him. He's a Riders fan. Don't hold that. He thought that Trey Ford was going to be the best quarterback in the CFL. So he doesn't know that much about football. But I'll say one thing. Take a look at him now. Trey, can you put up that picture from that day in Vulcan? Can you put this up? Can you see who that is? That is young Trey that came to visit us in Vulcan.
Oh, wow. Man, you make me feel old now, man. You make me feel old now.
Hey, but look at that. He's wearing
11 years old.
Trey, where's your Flames hat? I see you traded it in for the Oilers hat.
I did trade it in. Yeah.
So once they got Connor McDavid, he traded him in, huh?
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. And once Keon Raymond and Randy Chevrier left the Stamps, he became a Riders fan, I guess. But but you know what? That is the cool thing about this. Like, you talk about mentoring youth, you talk about what you're doing with your kids. You look at a picture like that. You and I would have never known how impactful that moment would have been for that kid. And here we are. He's 10, 11 years old. It's 10 years later, maybe 12 years later. And this kid's even intimidated to talk to you on the phone because he's like, man, he signed my autograph. I was at the Great Cup. And here we are. You're inspiring hundreds and hundreds of kids. So to my question was, we know the Olympics is out there now that they've announced it for the LA Olympics. What opportunities besides the Olympics? Like, is there scholarships is there varsity programs in colleges? Is there a place where these kids can strive to be between the Olympics and where they're at now?
Yeah. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
No, so every trip like that we go on for these kids, I make sure that we put a college aspect into it. Like from the start, from U Sports to NCAA. Like, I tell the kids, it's hard to go to the NCAA, but them being in this program, you're gonna have a really good chance to play in a U Sports school coming out of our program. Right now, I think we've had around like 85 to 90% of the kids that came in our program that are playing in U Sports. Some are playing in junior football at the moment, but the preparation for it is when you come out, I do weekly progress reports from our kids. So if you make our elite team, there's a progress report that you got to make sure. Coach, I make the kids sign a contract to understand, okay, these two, I need to make sure I hold my grade up to this percentage, making sure that if I don't, it affects my play time, and I have to run in regards to it. Because a lot of the kids, I tell them, if you're trying to jump into this program, like, you're aspiring to try to play college football, you know what I mean? Now, whether you go play pro or not, you know what I mean? But to being able to get an education and allow football to pay for that, like, we understand how important that is, especially on a parent's pocket to an extent too. So we try our absolute best. Like, even with our girls team, like with flag football, jumping up, man, like, we took our girls, we went to Phoenix to a battle tournament, and we took our girls to 2 college visits, and Arizona Christian and Benedictine University, and they're offering scholarships to our girls literally right now. Like, one of our girls had a call with the head coach and was like, you're on the top of our list. Like, this was a girl that literally just started playing flag football a year ago.
No way.
We went down there and showed what she can do. And like, just the training we got now, like, I'll probably have 5 or 6 girls from our team that will play in the U.S. for flag football in college.
See, and that's what's so awesome about it. I mean, obviously you got 10 times the population in the U.S., so you just percentages, you're going to have a lot of athletes. But there's a lot of Canadian kids that can play. That are amazing athletes. The problem that the Canadian kids have, and I know I had this, I was able to get to a Big 12 school out of high school just because I was freakishly large and fast. But short of being 6'5", you got 2 issues, and that's your fundamental training so that you can step in and show that you belong there at some capacity. And then the second thing is exposure.
Yes.
And the nice thing about this is you've really thought it out so that you're combining both. And that exposure is not just to the NCAA. That's a dream for a lot of kids because it's big, it's bold, it's creates a lot of opportunities. But even throughout U Sports around the country, if you get this level of competition, this level of coaching at an early age, it opens up doors. Now, I'm going to ask you this. So you said you've got at times up to around 300 kids. At this point, how is your coaching staff and how much time are you spending with them? Are you finding guys that used to play at a high level, or do you find you spend as much time training them to coach as the kids?
That's a good question. I get a lot of guys that have played pro that come in and being able to help out. And I bring guys in that were in our program prior to. So like right now, I have one of my first year of doing our 7-on-7 program, a kid who played junior football, organizing son, just finished up playing with the Dinos. He just got invited. He got invited to the CFL Combine. His name Matt Sibley, and he was one of the kids on the very first team that I started here. And so he's getting ready to be drafted in the CFL. So like for us to kind of have this full circle, that's a guy that comes back, and when he's done, he comes in and he helps and he pours into the kids that we have in our program, so they get a chance to see that, oh wow, like I watched watch Matt Sibley play, and with the Dinos, and then he comes back and he trains us. He does the exact same things that he's speaking about. He exerts on the football field, and so I try to make it full circle where those guys get a chance to come in. Now it's the odd occasion where I'll have a buddy of mine's who come in, that's played in the NFL with me. They'll come in and they'll fly in and they'll help out, and guys that from the Stamps, they'll come in and do their thing. But I try my absolute best to make sure that I keep a nice knit circle of guys too that are around the kids too, because we're pouring something special into these kids, and I want to make sure that we cultivate this thing too, that we're planting seeds, that it has an opportunity to really blossom and grow and into something that's beautiful, whether, like I said, they go and play professional football or college football. At the end of the day, they're going to be a pro at something. I mean, it's how they treat people, how they respect each other, how they know how to move, be a productive in society as a good human being. Today's, we don't see a lot of that, and I want these kids to be respectful and honorable, but also stand up for what's right.
Well, Keon, I think that's a great segue into what we brought you on tonight as well to talk about, which is our father-son movie night for the mental health movement. We've had a couple of live events in the last few years, kind of sparked by our little show and our little community. We got about, I would say about maybe 30 people listening live now, and more that listen on Spotify. If Trey gets it up this week. Come
on, Trey.
Come on, Trey.
Get your weight up.
I'm trying here, guys. God damn.
With our show, we love to have fun. We love to have fun. We love to talk sports. We bug Trey. We bug each other. But really, the community that we're trying to form is a community of people that give back to each other. And we focus more on the older, I guess, guys our age, middle age and up, because we talk about this when Sheldon and I started the show again. It's like, you pass that age of invincibility, right? And you're mentoring a lot of those invincible kids where, like, the world is their oyster. They can take what they want as long as they work hard and do their thing. But when we did our live events and we started the show, we want to really inspire men to, bring themselves just a little bit better. 1% better every day is better than 1% backwards, right? And this event is going to be a good one. The father-son movie night that's coming up in Cochrane, and having you speak is a big deal, because I think you have a really unique perspective. You deal with kids all day long. Like, that's what you work with. You have kids of your own. You're a great father. You got the 3 boys and Gabby, and they're all fine young adults. I guess they're all adults now, right?
They are, man. Yeah, they are.
How's your youngest?
Start making them pay rent now.
How is your youngest?
Gabby, she's 15.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, she's 15 now, and she's the lone Canadian that was born here. So yeah, it's she's 15.
Oh, I think Chev just lost his mic. Chev, just play with that for a second. So let me ask you this now. I'll let Chev ask you a little bit more about the event and whatnot. Loved having you on last time. And I think when we're talking about what we all had left in the tank at that point, I think you were pretty sure you had a full game in you. If you ever got called up. Where are you at now? I said I had a quarter. Where are you at now?
You know what, man? I may have a quarter, and that's in a playoff game. Yeah. That's it. That's all I can give you. I think I might have 1 pick 6 left in me. That's about it. That's all I can give you. That's it. Yeah. And I ain't running too far down the field. So
so what do you Chev, are you back on here? Yeah, we lost Chev. Chev. So what are you thinking about those rules now? Like, for me, there's a lot of controversy about it, but as a defensive lineman, I'm just thinking, at the end of the quarter, when you're down at the 10-yard line and you got to run away all the way across the field, now you just saved me an extra 10 yards that I don't have to run. So I don't mind that too much.
Yeah. You know what? I think optic wise, I think the CFL is trying to do their best to not copycat the NFL, but I think as football as a general, I think optically you want to align things, you know what I mean? So somebody who's a big avid NFL watcher, they look and they see football zone, but then they're not asking additional questions like, why are they on this side? Why is, you know what I mean? So it gets people engaged a little bit more, because most time you see, whether it's an Instagram reel or something like that, you may get 7 to 10 seconds of someone's time. You know what I mean? And optically, if you got that optically within that 10 seconds and they see that and they're like, oh, why is the goalpost right here? Why is this? And then, boop, let me go watch Friends or MASH. You know what I mean? Instead of, you see, oh, well, an avid football fan, oh, CFL, oh, it's football. You know what I mean? And so that gives them least, it's about viewership time right now. And I think they're trying their absolute best to try to maintain a younger viewer, because the NFL have come real hard into Canada with their broadcasts and things like that. And it's trying harder. They're stepping in, you know, on the Canadian footballs, you know, they're stumping ground, and they're trying to find ways how to make sure they keep that viewership up.
Yeah, like to the point, even a Canadian born kid is probably going to get more exposure to the NFL just because it's a marketing machine and the best of the best. Like the goalposts in the front, I always thought that was kind of stupid. I mean, you know, for a quarterback, is short yardage down in the end zone, you're cutting the field in half. You got to, and how many times have you seen the new guy in training camp run a post pattern?
Run into it. Oh my goodness.
It's just goofy, right? It's just goofy.
Man. Oh my goodness. I played that Sam position. So when they line up, I was always by it. I literally had to like lean on it. You know what I mean? Because guys would run routes like Andy Fantuz. He was great at it. He'd run right up to it where he'd use it as a shield so he'd catch the ball in front of it. So I literally had to kind of like position yourself. Like you had to know how to play with the goalpost. So, you know what I mean? I like it. You know what I mean? I've seen the goalpost is undefeated on the field. It's undefeated. I've seen guys get taken out by it. So I'm glad.
Do you guys hear me okay? Do you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I was just going to ask you, Keon, what do people have to look forward to on the 30th when you show up? I mean, we know what Brett Gardner is. A lot of people that are coming have seen him before, but he's always brings it. Great guy. But what are people going to get from Keon Raymond? What's that little slice of good that they're going to take with them that's going to help them be a little bit better as a dad, as a son, whatever?
You know what? I think the biggest thing for me is the experience. You know, just turned 43. You know, you may call it old. A lot of people call it young too, but I think life is about experiences. You know what I mean? And I think the experience and then being able to formulate, you know what I mean, my position as a dad, being as a coach, as a mentor, being able to have kids within the program, understanding how important your mental health is. Like even in our programs now, like I do something we do once a week for our kids to making sure we do a mental health check-in. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of them, I mean, whether they're struggling with certain things, whether it's people at school or it's situations at home, and how do we deal with those? It's being able to spot those little small things. Like I can tell when a kid comes into practice right off the bat that if he's not there mentally, you know what I mean? And I don't want to neglect the kid and be like, I'll put them to the side. Hey, everything's all right. You know what I mean? It's like, you can always tell everything's fine. You know, they'll give you that everything's fine. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, everything's fine then. You know what I mean? Well, give me 30 push-ups. And like, no, coach, you know what I mean? This they start spilling their beans. But it's one of those things. Like for me, I'm excited to being able to, like I say, share my experience, share my knowledge, just be a part of this event. I know you've done it, you know, a couple of times, you know, and to be honored for me to being able to step up and just like I said, and share, you know what I mean? Like I think life is a living testimony, and being able to share my testimony, but being able to pass the knowledge that I have and the tools that I've allowed to be able to work through. I think that's a big point. You know, I mean, being able to have an opportunity to do that. So, you know, I'm excited about it, man. I am.
Man, you know, I think the other thing you're going to like about it too, is it's always surprised me at that, whether you're up there speaking or whatnot, just the number of men in the room. Yeah. There's also you meet some really great people, some pretty crazy stories out there too. There's something about when you get a bunch of guys into a room, nobody knows each other, and it's just an even platform. And you just start telling stories, and it's I know you're going to be a great addition to the night, and I haven't heard you. I don't know if I've ever heard you in a formal public speech, so I'm looking forward to it, Keon. It's going to be fun.
Chevy, better tell them. We got fireworks now.
Yeah. No, we have fun. No. Keon, a lot of, since we told the story last time, a lot of people don't know this, but, you come to Calgary, something fell. You give back. And, it's the beautiful thing about the CFL. What people don't realize is it's a beautiful game for those that grew up watching it, those that, but went to the stadiums with their grandparents to watch the Riders or the Stamps, and it's really unique as a game. But even as a cultural phenomenon, what the CFL has done for football, for opportunities for athletes. You talk about the black quarterback and the evolution of the black quarterback, Warren Moon and stuff. But even like in my experience, living in Edmonton, living in Calgary, the opportunity for guys like yourself to come to Canada, start a life, give back to the community, but also get something for the community. What is Calgary and the CFL done for the Raymonds? Because we know how much you do for us.
Yeah. You know what, man? It's honestly, for me, it's one of those things where it's been home. Like I've raised my kids here, and like they've they've grown up here. They don't know anything else, and I almost don't know anything else. I'm like a stranger when I go back home. But for me, I think just the city, man, just the warmness and the people. Like I say, for me to being able to build a business, from scratch, and for it to grow organically, just shows the amount of people who see and believe, in what we do, what I do, who I am as a person, to be able to entrust me with the their most prized possession, their children. That's one of the most important things that you can allow somebody to be able to mention. That's something I do not take lightly. I'm grateful being able to do that. So I'm always honored to being able to come out. Now I don't like it as much when it snows. But other than that, what I mean? My wife would tell you all the time, Bianca, she'll like, I'd rather be cold than hot.
There you go.
Yeah. So, man,
Keon, and Sheldon, I'm sorry if I'm asking all the questions, because he's making me think of some funny thing. We have so many funny stories. We used to ride to the stadium together, and last week was daylight savings time, and there was that one game where it was the fall. It was daylight savings time where the time fell backwards, and we had to go to catch the bus. Hey, remember, we thought we were late. Hey, like we were flying down Crowchild. We were like sweating because we knew the bus was leaving without us. We were like, man, we're late. Like we're ripping down the highway,
this
like just
bad.
ripping. Like, oh, it is bad. We are so bad. I think the car broke down or something. I can't remember what happened. Hey, Sheldon, like, when the bus is leaving, like it's gone.
Well, and you're there so early, the bus might not even be there.
Well, yeah. And this is the thing.
So I'd be like crapping myself as I pull up there because there's nothing going on because you're so early.
No, but we were late. We thought we were late, and then it was halfway, like we're ripping down, and all of a sudden we look at each other and we're like, hey, wait a second. It's an hour earlier, man. Yeah. We started laughing so bad. I never laughed that hard. We were like, oh yes, hey man, we celebrated. Where
were you? Fill me in. Where were you guys going on a Sunday?
I feel like it was a Sunday or a Saturday. We were catching.
It was you know what, Chef? It was a Sunday, and I think what it was is I know because I think we were late, and we were going to hit that traffic, and we thought we were going to hit that traffic on Crowchild. Traffic on Crowchild, man. And we got on there, and it was like, it's Sunday. Oh, I
knew. Hey, listen. You said you're 43. I'm turning 50 this year. A few too many hits in the head that I don't remember them that clear, but I do remember we celebrated like we won. And I have to say,
yeah, we did.
Every time we talk, we have fun. I'm so glad that we're going to get to meet up again on the 30th, but I sure am glad we had that moment in the steam room when you came to Calgary and you were looking left and looking right. And one way it was the US and one way was stick around. And I'm glad you stuck around in Calgary, because I mean, that, like, everything you built, everything you talk about, you're a legend on the field. Like we joked in our poem that every time you touched the ball was a pick six, but it was a pick six. Every time you touched that ball, it was gone. And you built such a great career on the field. And then, like you said, making Calgary your home, not just your home, but you built a business. imagine if that moment didn't happen where you were like, man, I got to get back home. I just can't. I don't know if I could stay here. You remember that moment?
I do. You know what? And I talk about that a lot too, because I think in life, sometimes you sit at a crossroads, you know what I mean? And life is about decisions that you make, whether, you know what I mean? And I tell my kids all the time, man, every decision is a bad decision. It's how you think about it afterwards. It's how the time that you put in afterwards. So if you're going to make a decision, be all in with the decision you make, you know what I mean? And sitting there and having a conversation with yourself. And I say, you know what, if I'm going to stay and I'm going to make decision to stay, I'm going to be all in, because I think before that, I think I was in the middle of a crossroad. I was, you know what I mean? I want to be back home, but I want to be here. And it was like, I wasn't an all in type deal, you know, and having that conversation allowed me to say, you know what, you're going to choose some and stop damn complaining about it. You know what I mean? And that's what I took from that. Like, you know, and so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to stay and I'm going to be all in. And I'm so glad that I didn't leave, because we ended up winning the Grey Cup that year. And I was like, man, that was like the easiest money that I've made.
I mean, you could have gone back to the voodoo. You could have gone back to the voodoo.
You know what? Which was crazy though, Chev, because they end up folding. Like, so if I would have left, going back there, the league ended up folding. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know, I'm gonna make the decision to stay, and I stayed. And you know what I mean? And the Arena League ended up folding a couple months later. So I'm glad I was here, because I had to stay now, but then I had a foot in the door because everybody in the Arena League was trying to come up to Canada. So I already had my foot in the door, so I was good to go.
You were making that $500 a week on the practice squad, but it was golden.
I know. I was ready to go, boy. I'm telling you.
You just need that opportunity, right? Just need that opportunity.
That's it. You know what? And I think Coach heard a win that I was thinking about heading out. So I ended up getting on the roster for 1 week. And so they ended up making me the guy, you know what I mean, the non-active guy. So I stayed on the roster. They kept some money in my pocket. So it made it a lot easier to stay there.
Hey man, I believe at that time you had a wife and Keon Jr., correct?
Yeah. I had 3 boys at the time, man.
You already had all 3.
I had 3 boys at the time, man.
Was there. Man, I didn't realize you had all 3. So yeah, you were. I mean, that's a struggle. Like we got a lot of young guys that come up that have no kids and they can live off $500 a week. Yeah, it's pretty easy when you're by yourself. But when you're sending that check home, yeah, no, hey,
it don't go far, man.
That conversion at the border doesn't work.
It don't go far. It don't go far.
Sure doesn't. It sure doesn't when Bianca's back there changing all the diapers on her own. So, I mean, that's a testament to you, the family you are, family man you are, the family, the wife you have, the family you built. And I mean, if people don't know you that listen to the show, I hope they got to know you a little bit more tonight. And I hope everyone comes on the 30th of March to the father-son movie night at the Cochrane Movie House. Keon, you're going to be speaking. Chevy and Nasty, we're going to be there. Brett Gardner, our good friend Daryl, who's hosting the event, is going to be there. It's going to be a great night. So if you haven't got your tickets, if you haven't RSVP'd, if you're on the fence, like Keon said, make a decision and do it. Come to the movie night. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be a good time. Keon, I really appreciate you joining us. I think we got to have you on more often. I'm glad you changed the smoke alarms in your home, because the last time we did a podcast,
I did, man. You know what, man? I love what you guys are doing, man. I do, and like I'm down to have me on whenever you guys we can make it work, man. I'd come on, whatever it is, man. If you want to come me on for a segment or something just to fill some air, I don't mind, man. I really
you know what I'm gonna do right now?
Doing, man.
This is what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna volunteer Trey to go down to big time players, and you're going to put him through the paces to see if he can be a big time player. Because Trey's a varsity athlete. He's a varsity, but he's a golfer.
And I'm not golfer.
Uh-oh.
And he
might be done after 15 minutes.
Well, apparently his coach has been making him run these days. But I also found out he's an avid darts player, so maybe he could be a long snapper too. But I think Trey needs to take his little camera. He needs to do a Trey on the streets, and he has to show up to big time players one day and film, what it's all about. You put him through the paces, see if he's got what it takes to maybe get on the Canadian Olympic flag football team. And I think
I'll run that camera.
We could run that.
I'll run that.
Come on, Trey. I'm ready for you, buddy. Trey, quiet now. Yeah, look, Trey, quiet.
Trey, your mic did what my mic did. Say that again, Trey. Are you gonna do it?
Just give us a thumbs up or something. There you go.
I'd love to do it. I'd love to do it. Yeah,
Trey, you're gonna do it with your hero. Show that picture again, just how cute you look. You little did you have a little mustache in that picture? Look, he's got a mustache in that picture.
I see the fuzz. I see a little fuzz.
Trey's been growing that little dirt stash since he was 10 years old. He hasn't shaved. Dine and Dash never taught him how to use a razor. His dad is Dine and Dash. We call his dad Dine and Dash because
Dine and Dash.
I
like it.
He came to one of our live events and stuck his son with the bill. It was perfect. It was perfect. It was perfect. Trey got to pay for his dad. Well, listen, we're gonna let you go. We know you're working right now. We appreciate the time, Keon, and like we said, we're looking forward to seeing you on the 30th. I'm looking forward to giving you a big hug, my friend. And I hope are some of your boys gonna come down? Keon Jr. is not in town, is he?
Yeah, no, he's in Miami right now. He's at university in Miami.
Is he playing ball? Is he playing ball
yeah,
out
he's
there?
Playing ball, man. Yeah, he's playing ball. So he's a sophomore this year. No, not at the U. Not at the U. Not at the U.
Okay.
He's down the street from the U. It's Florida Memorial University. So yeah, it's NAIA school. So he has a really good opportunity to start this year. So he has aspirations to come back up here in the CFL and play. I think next year is his draft year. So I told him, you know what I mean? If we're not going first round, we're gonna stay in school. So yeah, we can hold out. So I'm proud of him though. I mean, you've seen him, man, since he was a kid, man. And so I'm super proud of him, man.
He's a fine young man, and I know his path. He's been working on it. Went to the junior college. He followed you to the Kodiaks, and then he's been making his way. And sometimes it's not the easy path, but he's doing it. And all the boys are doing it. Deshaun, Ramel, and Gabby as well. So you got some good people there, and we'll send you Trey, and he'll give us a little video of what's going on at the big time players because I love hearing about it. I want to see it. So
come on now. There we go.
Okay, Key, we're going to let you go. We're going to take a break here, guys. Great job. Thanks for joining us, Key. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Appreciate you guys having me on the ride. Thank you guys so much. Y'all have a good one. God bless.
Performance Freight Management is a global logistic freight shipping company that will handle the entire shipping process for any package to any country. Whether it be a simple truck shipment from your office to Toronto or your company importing generators from China, PFM Freight handles it all. We have the expertise and technology to handle any shipping requirements. Skip the guesswork and let us take the shipping pain off your plate.
Do you want your business to be known? YYCCalgaryBusiness.ca is Calgary's only online media platform that gets you noticed. Short-form video content is rapidly taking over as the most effective way to engage your audience. Whether you're being interviewed on a vodcast, sharing a sizzle reel, or even hosting your own show, there is one place you can publicize your business. We want to tell your story and introduce you to our network of empowered business owners and leaders right here in Calgary. Isn't it time you took your digital game to 11? Call us or email us now.
All right, this just in, folks. The Oilers pulled through for a 4-3 victory. I see.
There you go.
Trey, were you aware?
Trey celebrating.
Yeah, there you go. And nothing's changed. The parade is still being planned, and it looks like Chevy and Nasty have a new mascot. What do you got going on there?
It's Callie. It's Callie. It's the little snow fox. Look at her go. She's the best. I'm dog sitting for Brittany. She was in Saskatoon, actually Warman, Saskatchewan, for a cheer competition this weekend. So I grabbed the dog. I had a pretty crazy day Saturday morning. I had to rip to Red Deer. I left at 6:30 in the morning. I had to go do a talk. I did a talk at Paderni's, which is a large construction company out there. I did a little corporate leadership talk for them. Then I ripped back from Black Falls, cut by Brittany's house, grabbed this little pup here, this little bundle of joy, and then I ripped back home for Kyle's hockey game. So I've been pretty busy with the dog and doing my thing. She's fun. You know what? You guys have pets. You have cats. You like cats. When my two dogs, I had two dogs, Rogan's Zeus. When they passed after one was 14 years old and one was 15, man, I never bawled so much in my life. And after that, when I put them down to rest, when we cremated them, man, I was like, I can't have another pet. I can't do it. I just didn't want to open myself that way because it hurt so much every time I thought about losing them. And then a couple of years back, or just October, I guess a year from October back, Brittany's like, yeah, let's get a pet. I was like, I don't want a pet. We don't have the lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. I don't want a dog, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so she's like, well, I got a dog. And she got a dog. And, I'll tell you, it was tough for me at first because I didn't want to love this thing. But, man, this thing brings me joy. So you can't be mad at this thing.
You talk about Rogan Deuce. I had on the farm, we always had shepherds and Rotties and Huskies and the big dogs. I was always a big dog guy. But I look at that thing, dude, that's cute.
She's the best.
Like that she's adorable, dude.
She just hangs out. She jumped on my, she never jumps on this chair. She jumps on my lap. When I come home, her tail wags the body. She's so excited. It's unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you, she, because this is not her home, she's in Brittany's home. She had a little accident today. I mean, she had a little pee, but her pee is like if I spill a cup of water. So it's not that bad. And it's if that, her bladder is like this small. You can't be mad at this dog. I looked at it and I was like, the value proposition of how much joy I get when I see this thing and I snuggle with her and I hang out versus being upset at her for a little accident. It's not even close. Did
you get upset at her?
No, I couldn't. How can you be upset at this thing? You can't be upset at this thing. She's the best. You're the master.
Jamin just writes in a comment, Prince poops bigger than her. He's got a big shepherd back home. Yeah, for me, that would be that. What's attractive about that is I don't want the big dog sitting on my lap on the couch anymore when I'm watching TV or whatever. Yeah. But that would be nice. Keep me warm.
Yeah, she's fun and she snuggles in the bed. And I told Brittany, I said, listen, Brittany, she's got to sleep in the crate. And I was like, no, she can't. And now she just runs the house. She just does whatever. She's the easiest dog. She barely barks. When she's outside, she's kind of scared of her own shadow. If I say, hey, let's go for a walk, she's going to run and hide under the sofa. She's going to burrow herself on this. She doesn't want to go for walks. I have to literally carry her to the door. She's the best though. But
see, that's better. So we're a cat family now, right? Because my wife said no dogs. So we got cats. My cat, the only time she loves me is when I feed her. And she just purrs. The rest of the time, dude, if I bend over to pet her, she matrixes to avoid my hand.
Oh, really?
I've got the most unaffectionate. I don't even know if she understands. If it was just me and her, it's a two-way relationship. I feed her. You got to at least purr when I pet you. You got to jump on my lap and keep me warm. My cat acts like I am her oppressor, like I am her prison keeper.
But I thought all cats are like that.
We've had super affectionate ones, but
see, I've never had dogs growing up, and I always thought that a dog is a dog. I didn't realize that personalities until I had two side by side, totally different, just like kids. And but this dog, I mean, she'll lie right next to you, she'll flip over, and it's like, give me a belly rub, man. Just give me a belly rub, and it's the best thing ever. Look, Trey smiling ear to ear. He wants to come and get Callie some love.
I'm sure. I'm a little surprised we're not getting any more pet stories out there from you guys. You guys are letting us down here a little bit.
Yeah, Trey,
you got pet stories from you, but
Trey, what's your pet story? I mean, Sheldon's got the cats. I got the dog. What do you got? A parrot? You're a turtle. You look like a lizard guy. You got a lizard?
No, lizard guy. No. We have a dog back at the farm. Her name's London. She's a little toy Aussie Shepherd.
That's nice.
She's a little cutie. And then we have my sister's roommate has a dash hound, so I'm over there often because they feed me, so I get to see the dog all the time. And he's a cute little thing as well. But I love dogs. They're so adorable. I can't wait to get my own. I love them so much.
Well, that's good. You get a dog, you get more girls. That's how it is. But I mean, hey, you know what? We didn't bring it up last week,
sure.
But the last time Trey was, I don't know if he was in a committed relationship, but we were talking about, the birds and the bees with Trey. It was when I was in Mexico, and that was December. But breaking news, Trey is seeing someone now, right? Trey, how's it going?
It's going great, actually. Yeah. She's coming over tomorrow. I'm gonna make her dinner. Her name's Gabby.
What are you making her? What are you making her? What's
I-
your go-to? Because mine was shrimp scampi.
It's not a go-to. I just feel like having chicken parmesan, and so we're gonna have chicken parmesan, and
Nice.
hopefully it goes well. I tried to make her a grilled cheese the other night, and I burnt the fingertips off my fingers, and
Wow.
so
Grilled cheese,
that was
Trey.
tough.
Oh, it
I
happens.
went to go flip it, and I missed the. And
You know,
and
when there's a girl there and you're trying to look cool, right?
Well,
You're trying to
she's
flip it
a
in a
weird, like
certain way
she's fallen off my stool here, but she helped me build this chair right here too.
Well, that's
so
good.
that was cool.
Trey, you know what you should do? You know who loves to cook? Sheldon. I'm making plans for all you guys. I'm sending Trey to Big Time Players. I think you should invite Sheldon to your house one day and cook something for you guys.
Oh, I'll be. You know what? I'll be your.
But
I'll be
just
your
say he's
private
like a personal chef.
for date night. Yeah, I'll be your personal chef for a night.
Actually, I think Sheldon, that'd be a great business for you. I think you would love that. Like if someone hired
Oh,
you to do like,
dude,
their,
if I was
family dinner.
retired, that's what I. You know what I've seen. This is actually a business model. I don't know if it's like really legal with a city or whatever. But you know, if you're a home chef that loves to cook, you can actually host like restaurant nights in your house. You can have like say 3 families over, 3 tables set up, cook a full meal for people. It's a good way to do something you love because it's not just cooking that a person enjoys, right?
Yeah.
It's sharing it with people and seeing that look in their eye if it turns out good.
You know,
where they just absolutely, oh my God, that tastes so good. Isn't that for a chef? That's the best feeling in the world is watching another person just like lose their minds over what they're putting in their mouth.
Look, your dad's surprised that you can make chicken parm. And guess what? The next thing
It's not that hard, Dad.
How come you've never made it for me is the question that comes next from the father. Because same with my kids. Like my son does all kinds of stuff when the girl's around. And yet I'm like, guys, can you make me a coffee? Like just a coffee, Trey. Dine and
I
dash.
can make you a coffee. I could make you a.
No, I think your dad. I think your dad wants a parm. He wants a chicken parm. He's waiting.
I'm getting some food love from the comments here right now. I love it.
Yeah.
There's some people here I have cooked for before.
Sheldon, tell us about your beans. Jamin's telling us that you got some great beans. What's the beans?
So here's the thing. I'm going to guess that Trey had a great experience with chicken parm at one point in his life, or it's something in his mind makes him say, what a great dish. For me, I grew up, my mom made sweet and sour wieners and beans. The simplest thing you've ever had. A can of beans, chop up some wieners, a little bit of vinegar, and it gives us nice tangy beans. About 8 years ago, when I started really getting into barbecue, I wanted to see if I could elevate that. So I did much like my mom did. I took like 4 cans of beans, big cans.
Yep.
But instead of just throwing in wieners, I threw them on the charcoal Weber while I was smoking a brisket. And so they puff up and you blacken the edges, and I chop them up and I throw them into the beans along with a couple of onions and some Worcestershire and some ketchup and some sriracha sauce and anything else that you think might taste good in a bowl of beans, like just from scratch. What's going to taste good in there? Then as the brisket was cooking, I'd take like some of the fat at the end and I'd drop that in there too, just for some extra flavor. You let that cook for 2 hours. It doesn't taste like no store-bought beans anymore. You just take something really simple and you elevate it. And honestly, a lot of times, if you eat a lot of barbecue or you serve a lot of barbecue, brisket's always good. But it's the sides that set the meal apart. Like good cream corn.
I love making jalapeno cornbread. My kids love when I make jalapeno cornbread. That's my.
We're gonna have to have a potluck, fellas. This is. I've never had your burnt ends. Okay, we've never had the burnt ends. I need to try the burnt ends. I love cornbread. I'll make you guys chicken parm, and
that'd
it'll
be
good.
Maybe we
I'm liking that. I'm excited about that chicken parm. Like
you know what we
should do? Chicken, bread it up, and
you know what we should do. This is what we should do. I don't know what day it would be because we'll have to wait till the schedule and wait till we're all free. And I know we can barely even get together at 10 p.m. every Tuesday night. Like but we should aim to tailgate at a Stamps game. And that's where we do our potluck. Like we get everyone here. We buy the cheapest tickets we can find because we're cheapskates. Yep. We beg Jay McNeil for a spot where we can just set up a couple of barbecues, set up a couple of pickups with a tailgate that we can sit in chairs and just have a tailgate like 5 hours before the game. Who cares? Just show up and just eat our faces off and then go watch the game. I think that'd be fun. I think if we could figure out a date, that'd be good. We do Chevy and Nasty, right with Chevy and Nasty, men's mental health,
barbecue potluck.
What do we call it? Tailgate. The mental health tailgate, whatever it is. We'll try and get Jay to to get us some parking passes and stuff. But I think that would be fantastic because that's a great idea. What does it say? Let's set it up with Greg and from Bonton. I'm in.
Jamie keeps saying he's going to set us up with Greg from Bonton, but I think he's holding out on us.
We need Greg from Bonton to sponsor the show because we got some bills to pay. So if you guys know anyone that wants to sponsor the show, Daryl's paid enough of our bills, and our bill is called Trey. But yeah, no, if you know anyone,
we could get Greg from Bonton on the show. Wouldn't you love to have him give us a recipe every week or every time he comes on? What's the best thing that you made this week, Greg? I would love that.
Yeah, and you know, man, I'm so hungry. I didn't even eat dinner. I came home from work. I worked till 6. I went to the gym because I need to blow off some steam, and here we are. But I think, Sheldon, before we wrap this up, let's get off the food topic. A couple of things happening this week in the world. We could do some studs and duds. Trey, you want to hit the studs and duds?
Studs and duds.
Okay, a lot of movement in the NFL. Now, Sheldon, I know you haven't been paying attention because you've been working lots, but lots. You've got
some understatement here. Holy.
You've got Mike Evans to San Francisco, Trey's favorite running back in the world, Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker Jr. going to the Kansas City Chiefs. You've got I don't even know the quarterback.
This guy got paid like $50 million to be the starting quarterback, and he was unreal for the Packers. You're like, who is this guy?
Yeah, who is this guy? Because you know what's going to happen. He's going to go to the Dolphins. And Malik Willis is going to wind up just like Tua Tagovailoa. We are never going to be announcing Tua's name on TV anymore. Tua Tagovailoa is done. He's going to be a back.
Dude, you're looking at the next Trey Ford. You might end up with the Elks and big things coming for him.
Yeah. There you go. But the big one, I think the big news of all the movement, the biggest news, the biggest splash was on the weekend when several teams were vying for Max Crosby. The Dallas Cowboys were going to offer a first rounder and a second rounder to the Raiders for Max Crosby. The deal was almost done. And then the Baltimore Ravens swoop in with 2 first-round picks to Tom Brady's Las Vegas Raiders. They trade the guy that said he never wanted to leave Las Vegas. Like Max Crosby is a Raider for life. They trade him. There was a bit of rumblings last year. I mean, they benched him because of his knee. He didn't want to be benched. You know, he was kind of insinuating that the Raiders were tanking on purpose for the first overall pick, blah, 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 a little bit of bad blood. Anyhow, trade to the Ravens. Everyone's celebrating in Baltimore. Joe Burrow panicking in Cincinnati.
Dude, I'm looking at Yahoo right now. I just read from 4 hours ago, Ravens back out of Max Crosby trade. What's next for Baltimore and Las Vegas?
Breaking
is that for real?
Yeah, that's breaking news tonight. Right before we hit the air, the Ravens back out of the trade. Everybody that bought a Max Crosby jersey, ordered a jersey, are freaking out now. Joe Burrow, who was panicking, Jamar Chase in Cincinnati because they were going to have TJ Watt for the Steelers. They're going to have Myles Garrett for the Browns. And then this guy for the Ravens. They never get out of the division. They're breathing a little easier. But Sheldon, Trey, have you ever seen anything like this? And what happens next? I mean, he's not going to go back for the Raiders, is he?
Yeah, they have no choice. He's
under contract.
He failed the physical, and now like I feel bad.
Is that what
for the
did
Raiders.
it? Is that what did it? Was a physical? Yeah. I was going to ask if he's injured last year. Like, what is the condition of that knee? Is it the knee that's still?
Yeah, they shut him down like with 2 games left or whatever because he needed to have surgery, and then they made this trade, and then the Raiders went out and signed a bunch of guys, and like really buffed up their offensive line and some defense. They signed the top center, and then. Yeah, I guess now they have a $30 million contract back on their books, and they lost 2 first-round picks, and this guy's injured. Like, he's probably not going to play.
He's probably done. But, I mean, so who do we blame? Is it – because, again, I knew that he had surgery in the offseason. Like, he pretended like he was fine, but then he had surgery. Like, you're not healing from the surgery he had that quickly. So the Ravens must have known that they were buying damaged goods, right, when they offered this deal? Like you can't.
Yeah, but they didn't realize that the surgery was botched, right? Like, what kind of knee injury did he have?
I think he tore his meniscus. I think is what it was.
Yeah,
and that's not a terrible injury. Like I had meniscus surgery. I came back the next season, and
stability will still be there, right?
was 100% off the meniscus. I mean, it hurts like hell when it needs the surgery, but the minute you get it done, you're a few weeks out and then you're back lifting and back doing your thing. But there might be a little bit more to this than meets the eye, guys. I don't know.
I think it's a little fish. People are blaming like the Ravens too, but like I don't know how the Ravens could be blamed for this. So yeah, there's a lot of uproar.
Who's the stud? Who's the dud in all of this? Who's the dud? Who you guys pick?
I think everybody loses.
Everybody loses. The Ravens lose. The Raiders lose. Crosby loses.
I mean, Crosby's a stud.
He wins.
Crosby might have milked it a little bit. He might have played it up with a little bit of limp. Just if he really did want to stay in Vegas, which I don't know why anybody would want to do that, but yeah, maybe he came out the winner. Maybe he set this up. I don't know.
Yeah, well, the whole deal is a dud. And I mean, here, you know who dodged the bullet? The Dallas Cowboys. Because that is PR. Because, you know, if the Cowboys made that trade and he goes to the Cowboys and this all happened in Dallas, any bad press is worse press. In fact, right now, they got a quarterback that just split with his fiance right at the bachelorette party. They called the wedding off. Now, a lot of rumors are because this is due to unsettled negotiations regarding the prenup. I'm not sure if that's the truth, but basically,
there's a stud move right there, dude.
They had a
sign of trouble.
Yeah. They had a huge bachelorette. What do they call it? A Jack and Jill party in the Bahamas. They flew all their friends, and
that was Dak Prescott.
Yeah, and just called it off. He just
signed a $240 million deal. And she wouldn't sign a prenup. Was what the rumor is.
That's what the rumor is. I don't know if it's the truth, and I don't want to spread any bad rumors, but it's been out there, and all we know is that their wedding is off. Maybe it's going to be one of these on again, off again things because they do share 2 children. So, but again, if that would have happened, and then this would have made headlines for the Cowboys, you know, they make headlines for the wrong reasons. And whenever there's headlines with Dallas, it's always like exponentially larger than everyone else. Like this Ravens thing, it's probably going to get blown under the rug and stuff. But I don't know. Any other big moves? I mean, Tua Tagovailoa, Mike Evans.
Tua, Kyler Murray's gone too. Keenum's back to the Jets.
Yeah, he got traded. I bet that's terrible for him. Like he didn't want to go to the Jets.
Well, let me ask you this one, unless you guys want to get into that. Kelsey coming back.
Yeah,
for another year.
Back, yeah.
Like, what do you think about that? Is this a stud move on his part? He's going to go out on his terms, or is this a guy that maybe's just hanging on a little too long? Maybe should get back on the road with Taylor.
I think he's still an effective player. You know, last year was an off year for the whole organization. I think he doesn't have to carry the load, but he's good enough to make some of those key clutch grabs. He was a little off last year at the end of the season. He's going to have to focus up because, as Rubio says, our good buddy Rubio, focus up because a couple of drops he had cost them some games in certain situations. And again, every player is allowed an off year. And if your off year happens towards the end of your career, they think that's your career. So I think
because it might be, sometimes it is, right?
Sometimes it is, but there is an opportunity to bounce back. And I think the best chance for him to succeed right now was in Kansas with Pat Mahomes, with the quarterback he knows, who trusts him that, you know what, when shit hits the fan and there's nothing downfield, a lot of times Travis is open. So we'll see how that plays out. They got a big running back signing, which is going to help them out big time. Trey's very sad about that.
Yeah, Seahawks got shelled, but we kept Shaheed, which I'm pumped about.
Yeah. Listen, this is no time for you to start getting greedy. Right? You've waited how many years your entire life for this?
Yeah.
You got your Super Bowl. I'm sorry, it's not a dynasty team. But you got your Super Bowl.
We did get the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, you know, there's a few guys for Kelsey this year. I look at drop passes, a lack of concentration, and just some bad luck. Not being able to get open or get to the ball is a different story. So he might have a little bit of football in him. But I'll tell you what, they're going to have to stay healthy, and they do. Getting a solid back on a solid ground game is going to help open things up because
for sure
he's not at the point he can run that offense himself anymore.
No, I think that's a really great point. A couple of moves I was surprised. The running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Etienne, he was a key cog in their offense. He moves to New Orleans to be closer to home. And the other one that I was really surprised, and it kind of hit me, was, and I'm not a big fan of the Eagles, but Blankenship, their other white safety. going to, I believe it's the Houston Texans. They had Cooper DeJean and Blankenship. They were kind of like the twins. And he moves on. I believe he moves to Houston. I didn't see that one coming because it seemed like those two guys were solid and the leaders back there. So
that's going to be a hell of a defense in Houston because they're already dominant across their across their starting 11. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. So big moves in the NFL. NHL trade deadline came and went, and Trey wants me to talk about the Flames, so we'll talk about the Flames.
Flames did good.
They did great, but
they did great.
Listen, so like Chev, I know you're going back to like when we were kids and you can only have one team, and maybe maybe there's something wrong with me that I can love both Alberta teams and great stories. I really enjoyed the Flames from the time I moved to Calgary, but it's frustrating to see a team just turmoil through mediocrity for 15 years. Watching GMs, your Tree Livings. Who was before Tree Living? Trey, do you remember?
It was Sutter. Between
them, the intellectual honesty guy. I don't think that was Tree Living.
Oh, that was Jay Feaster.
I said Feaster.
Talk louder.
Yeah. But you know what? I'll tell you what. They had some parts to sell off, but so often in the past, you see teams like, we won a couple of games, or maybe, or they're afraid to make the big bold move. They got rid of Kadri. They got rid of
Uyghur.
Help me, yeah.
Mackenzie Uyghur.
Uyghur and the other defenseman.
They got rid of Anderson, but that was like in January.
Yeah, but still, it's still big. I mean, they had to do it.
Going.
Right. And at that point, I was sweating it a little bit because there's still too many cards in the deck that were going to hold us back from that draft pick. But to walk away here now, what do we have? 2 first-round picks at least this year. I
think they have like 8 picks in the first 3 rounds this coming draft.
That's so I haven't seen that before.
Guys, this is the problem. Part of the reason why the Flames, and I'm not a I like the Flames. Like when I go and they're not playing the Habs or a couple of other teams that I like, I'm all in. Am I a diehard Flames fan? I don't think I could ever be a diehard anybody but Habs fan. But if the
Annalise, you were a Leafs fan for a few years.
Yeah, for a little bit, but that's because it was kind of like a FU to the Habs after they got rid of guys. But I'm saying if the Flames were in the Cup final versus an American team, I'm all in. But the frustration about the Flames is that when you listen to local media here, they're better. They talk about them like they're better than they are.
Yeah, and so you know what? But so does like out here. Really, what we hear about is Toronto and like Toronto's the center of the universe and all this stuff. I don't see how you can't take this as a good thing that fans here in a small city. We're not Montreal. We're not Toronto. We're not New York. We're not Chicago. The fans love the team here. The limited
I love that.
Get excited about. It's been a hard team to follow because everybody knows that that management has made some dicey decisions over the years. We haven't been bold. We double down on Sutters. We double down on WHL type players. And when we're handed gifts, and it's through pure fortune of good drafting, where you've got a Monahan, you got a Sam Bennett, you got a Kachuk, you got a Johnny Gaudreau, and we misplayed that team so badly. I mean, it's just nice to see that this isn't something that's just falling on our lap. This is something that that they made happen.
Well, I'm just hoping that their track record. I know, and you mentioned some great players that they developed.
But they also when Conroy was signed as GM, I was really suspect on that. Remember that trade? I was really suspect about hiring a player as your GM. What did Chevy or Cozy just say?
Cozy said me. Go ahead, you weakling.
Make everyone.
Dude, I'm hedging my bets. You know what? The Oilers aren't going to be great forever. In 2-3 years, I'm going to shift back to the Flames.
Yeah, he's gonna put his Flames jersey back on. But this is the thing, like it's the develop. Now you mentioned some great draft picks, and I can't argue with Kachuk. I can't argue with Gaudreau. I can't argue with Monahan. But then they wasted the development of a lot of guys. And they picked some bad guys. They picked some.
Yep.
When Sven Berchi was the savior of the organization, only to flush him the next year, and then it was Mark Jankowski, and just like. I mean, I can't even remember half the guys that was the next greatest guy.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that basically almost Sutter got fired for that the French Canadian kid that was like, he didn't even congratulate him for his first game in the NHL, and everyone was on Sutter. Where's Jacob?
No, it
was Jacob. I don't know, whatever.
I can't remember, but
draft pick after draft pick.
Reagan will put it in.
And it's like, again, it's this there's something systemic there, and I hope you're right, because I mean I like Conroy.
It was systemic. I totally agree. We're actually agreeing on the same point here.
But is it done, or are they going to blow this? You know what I mean?
I don't know. What I'm saying is this is the first big moves by Conroy, and I question Conroy a lot. You can't hire him when they're talking about bringing Iggy in the organization and drafting his son. I was like, never. You can't do this. Conroy put on his big boy pants and made some good moves.
Yeah, I think there's a reason why Bettman was in town.
He's in town because of the rink.
We're gonna give you McKenna. You're gonna get a new rink. All the Flames fans are gonna be so happy. Yeah, we all know what's going on.
Well, listen, the last thing I want to hit before we go, because I know we got to get going, and I feel the dog's at the door, and I might have another accident that I won't get mad at her for. But I just saw this today. I sent it in the group chat. For those of you that might not be following social media, Jacob Pelche. There you go, Jacob Pelche. Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's in talks not only to do Predator Part 2, but also another Commando and possibly another Terminator. Is this a stud or is this a dud? Because I'm a little bit excited that Dutch might make his return in Predator all these years later. Where do you guys sit on this? I mean, Trey's almost too young to know Predator, but I can't. Yeah. If Dine and Dash Dad was any kind of dad, he'd have exposed Trey to the Predator, which I think he is.
I've seen the Predator.
I'll say this. I'm going to say no to Predator. What was it? Predator, Commando, and what was the other one?
Terminator. Another Terminator.
Okay, no to Terminator. There's just too much CG. It is as good as it's gotten. It doesn't work. I don't like that. You got to bring him in as an old man. Terminator, if they bring him on as the general, and he's not too cheesy, maybe. But here's what I'm getting excited about. You said Commando, and here's another thing Trey cannot relate to. But you could do a sequel to Commando, bring back Alyssa Milano, right? Back in the day, that was every guy's crush, Alyssa Milano.
One of the greatest lines ever. Sorry, when I told you I'd leave you for last, I lied.
Cut me, Bennett. Cut me. Yeah, that was one of his best movies for one-liners. I don't know if it was one of his biggest movies, but it was probably my favorite from that.
That was the one where I mean, you're what 10-year-old Sheldon, the pastor, watching Commando, and the first scene he carries a tree on his shoulders. You're like, I want to be that guy.
Yeah, totally.
I want to be that guy when I grow up.
Yeah.
Oh man, the good old days. Listen, guys. I think we should call it.
There's one more thing. Though.
Oh, tell me.
Are we taking a spring break next week?
Oh yeah, young Trey is going off to the varsity BC golf trip. He made the travel team, so congratulations, Trey. But it also means that we probably will be taking a break unless we can figure out how to push the buttons on this thing, which I don't know. Like, Sheldon, do you have it in you? Because I don't know if I have.
I don't know. I think what we got to say here, boys, is next week it looks like we're taking a week off. There's a chance we're going to come on and do a smaller version if something big happens. And Chevy and I just got to get together and talk and share it with you guys. Or if you guys got something you want to talk about, it might happen. But as for now, we're going to say there is no ride next Tuesday.
And if there is one, you'll get the notification if you're subscribed to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, all that stuff. Make sure you follow us, then we'll let you know. Sideline Sports, you follow them as well. They got some good shows. AC Sports is on at the same time as ours. We got the Rubio Method, and a bunch of other really good shows. If you like the Seahawks, Trey, Dave DeRoche hosts Hawk Talk. So that's up. So there's a lot of good shows there, and I know some of the guys told me they're checking them out this week because they just want to see what Sideline Sports brings to the table. But we know what we bring to the table, and we know what you all bring to the table, and that's a really cool community of guys that hang out with us every Tuesday night. And we wouldn't be here. Well, we probably would be here without you, but it's more fun when you're here and giving us the comments and throwing the barbs just like we do to Trey. But that being said, guys, I think it's a good one to end on. Chances are we'll see you in a couple of weeks, but who knows? Maybe we'll be back next week. You never know. You never know what
way to be decisive, Chevy. Love you guys. See you next week.
Hey.